Why the narcissist cooperates with demons to destroy you. You will be chased in your dreams. Part 1. An acquaintance of my mother once told her, "Your children are cursed." She was a psychic, or at least pretended to be. I was scared when I heard about the curse. I must have been around 8 or 9 years old when I heard this unpleasant detail about my family history. It happened before I was born. I don't know exactly when. My siblings would whisper about it in fear. "We are cursed. The medium has said it." Every bad event happening to the family would be blamed on this so-called curse, although I never found out why there was a curse on my family or who was even responsible for such a thing. I did ask myself, though, why should I be held responsible for someone else's actions, while it was clear that my mother had pissed someone off? Why should the blame for her actions should be partially put in my lap as well? It didn't seem fair to me. It wasn't. It is clear to me, though, that my mother had made someone really upset, which made that person act and say things in extreme anger, including cursing us, the children of the target of her anger, my mother. When I asked around in my family, hoping someone would provide me with some answers about the supposed curse, I would always be ignored. To this day, no one ever bothered to provide me more clarity. Since it has been decades I talked to my siblings, I will probably never get the answers. This is not uncommon behavior for those who are the black sheep in their family. Your questions are never taken seriously. More than once, I was told to shut up. It would cause me to be a stutterer one day. I am sure it's the reason. Something is very off in my family. More people will recognize this because you didn't just click on my video for no reason. A disturbed family dynamic is one of the many signs that your family is being chased by a demon. In that toxic environment, you had the role of black sheep, just like I did. Another sign is having one or more troubled persons within the family who are responsible for conflicts with the outside world. These conflicts aren't small in extent. No, they are huge. These conflicts are caused by the troubled persons in your family, most likely narcissists. Growing up was tough. My mother was and is a narcissist, a term which is thrown around a lot to describe people here and there with a toxic attitude. Society is unaware that the term should only be used to describe a much smaller group. Because someone beats his wife or hates his or her children doesn't necessarily mean that someone is a narcissist. Actions and personality should be studied first, before someone concludes or suspects that someone deserves the qualification narcissist. A narcissist is a person with no soul, who knows very well that he or she hurts people with their actions and words. They fight secret wars against people. And make no mistake, they understand very well the extent of the pain they cause in people. They are not mentally behind or emotionally non-intelligent. They understand people very well, and they can read them like a book. You don't have to exchange words with a narcissist for him or her to know what your thoughts, dreams, and goals are. They know them. They know you, and they see your weaknesses. They also see your strength. Sometimes they even know you better than you know yourself. A narcissist has one goal alone: to completely destroy you, and to do it in such a way that the outside world will never discover that it was the narcissist all along who put so many stones and blocks in your way with the intention for you to never get any further in life. In particular, they want to see you give up on life. The thought of you taking your own life is the ultimate goal. They don't want to be the ones doing it. They want you to do it yourself. How do they do such a thing? First, they will ridicule you and laugh behind your back with your enemies. They will not cook for you. They will not clean for you. They do, however, want your money, and they always find some excuse why your money belongs in their pockets and not in yours, while you are the one who has worked his ass off to earn that much needed money. You come home only to find nothing warm to eat, but they still insist, your money is my money. My mother did all those things I just described to you. It was even much worse what she did to my father, but I won't talk about that. I will tell you, though, that I was being bullied in the street by the daughter of a family living nearby. I had never talked to this girl, but I knew her face. She also knew who I was. One day, she harassed me at the bus station, grabbed my arm, and called me multiple times ugly and a whore. That was the first time I exchanged words with this person. Being called a whore was kind of laughable since I was a virgin back then and at that point never had a boyfriend or even dated anyone. After this intense row, I came home upset to my mother and told her what happened. She listened to the story and asked questions, and that was it. I later found out she was still greeting and doing social talks with this girl when they saw each other outside. It was disgusting. To this day, this form of betrayal still hurts. She didn't even bother to call her out for her behavior. In other words, I was being made a fool by my mother and by my neighbor. To my shock, no one in my household bothered to take care of me. They prefer to hang around with my enemies. At the same time, they expected gratitude and obedience because I was living in their household while they laughed behind my back. The creepy stalking of my neighbor would continue. She would call me a whore every time she saw me. It was ridiculous and creepy. She cussed me out in the open. Everyone passing by could her. She didn't care. I never felt so lonely.